Hi, hello. Do you guys remember me? I'm back. I was in Copenhagen last week and it was great. I went there mostly just because I could. I didn't know anything about the city before going. I just figured it would be fun, and it was. My only plan for going there was to go to some bookshops. That was all. And then I'd also looked up some museums and stuff that I wanted to see. And I saw pretty much everything I was going for. So yeah, please enjoy my vlog. Be aware that I am terrified of vlogging. So it's not so much a vlog as it's just clips of me walking around Copenhagen with a voiceover under it. And then at the end of the video, there will be a little book haul. Enjoy the vlog, and I'll see you afterwards. I took the night bus for a reason, so I could sit there in this hut. Anyway, so this is Denmark. I got to Denmark really early in the morning. This is water in Denmark, because there's a lot of water in Denmark. This is the island that Copenhagen is on, so it was like probably morning by then. What else is there to say about that? I don't know, nothing. The first thing I did when I got there was go to the National Gallery, because I couldn't check in until 3 and it was 9 a.m, so I had some time to kill. Figured this was the best way to do it. Look. Frog. That looks painful. That man is shocked. Titties. Loads of tits, by the way, in this museum. I don't really know what's up with that. This was weird. This guy was just straight up chilling. What a vibe. Lots of chairs. Still chilling. These pigeons were fucking terrifying. Charcuterie. Damn right. Yeah. This building, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Show-stopping. Love it. This painting was like my favorite. Yeah, safe to say it was my favorite. It's so good, look at that. Look at what these lesbians are looking at. That's right, titties. Oh, but, wow, okay. No comment. This was the castle, Rosenborg, I think it was called. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it was called. But there was also fish. Lots of fish. Castle. Pretty. This was the first bookstore that I found. It was right near the Round Tower. This wasn't on my list, but yeah, I went there anyway. I couldn't find the English books at first. I was very confused because these were the only English books that I could find. But then I went outside. That was a book I was reading, by the way, so that's fun. This is me looking for English books and not finding any. Pussy. Yeah. Look, it's my girl. That's my girl. That's right. That's a Dutch book. I was happy to see it even though I didn't really like that book. Gay. This was a bookstore, the first bookstore that I found that was on my list. It's called Politikens, and I think it's like the bookstore in Copenhagen. And it's good, but when I went in there on this day, it closed like 10 minutes later. Yeah, okay, crossing the street, good. Take your time. That's right, okay. Went inside, had a look around, and then a guy came to tell me that the store was closing soon. I was looking for Our Wives Under the Sea, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I had this really cute idea to put Our Wives Under the Sea on a picture with the Little Mermaid statue because they kind of have the same vibe, right? But yeah, I couldn't find the book. And also books in Copenhagen are extremely expensive, so I didn't buy any new books anyway. This street was gorgeous. Scientology. I have my own beef with Scientology. Maybe I'll share it one day in a story time, but now it's not that time. Wonderful square. It's great. Then I walked into a book market, like just randomly. I didn't know it was there, and then I saw it, and then I was like, okay, let's go. It was inside a church. It was really cute. There was a lot of books, not that many English ones, but I did find them. And you'll see what I found there in my book haul at the end of this video, because I did find some things. Engelsk. So then I found this place, and I thought that it was the Royal Palace, but it wasn't. It's actually the House of Parliament. Then this day I rented a bike, and I went to see some bookstores that were like farther out of the city center. So I found this one. This one was really cute, but again, these books were expensive as fuck, so didn't even touch any of them. I was scared. Some Danish authors in English, that's nice, but again, they were expensive as fuck, so I moved along. On the way to the next bookstore, I came past the Assistens graveyard, and I thought it would be very weird to be a tourist at a graveyard, but this was literally just a park with random graves scattered in between the grass. It was weird. People were jogging there, people were picnicking there. Honestly, it was a vibe. The more time I spent there, the more I was like, yeah, this actually makes sense. It's like the dead among the living, you know. It's kind of fun, actually, if you think about it. Look. But this is where the grave of Hans Christian Andersen is. So I went to look for it, because I was like, I'm there anyway, and I'm a self-proclaimed literature nerd, so I should go and see it. Mostly I just reveled in the beauty of this path, because it was awesome. Also, this tree, so cool. Such a cool tree. It shimmered and it was red. It was so cool. Oh yeah, I found his grave. It was not very spectacular, but, you know, ugly duckling, I guess. Yeah, cool. There was this cat there, very close to him actually. Don't know if it had anything to do with it. Don't think so. This was a bookstore that I was going to, and it was closed. I was very sad, because it looked really cool. Sad, yeah, that's right. Female husbands. I would love to read that, but sadly I didn't even get to read the blog. This was in the same street, and it was also closed. I'm so confused. There was no reason for them to be closed. It was just Monday, like, I didn't get it. This was a literature house. Don't know what that is. This is a bookstore that I randomly passed by. Look, it says fact literature. The books that were just as expensive as everywhere, but the shop wasn't as nice, so it wasn't really worth it. Then I found the one that I was looking for. This is Books and Company. It's cute. It was a very cute store. It was quite a way out of Copenhagen. I think it was even in a different town, but it was nice. It was a cafe, but I didn't really get it. Then I found this, the most Scandinavian thing I've seen all week. And there she is, the man, the myth, the legend, and the millions of tourists staring at her. It's funny because the whole city is full of statues, but she's the one they're all looking at. Gay. This, oh my god, okay. This is the Glyptotek. And this is the most beautiful place I have ever been in my entire life. I genuinely found God in here. Ah, look at that. So gorgeous. Yeah, basically it's just a museum full of statues. And I felt like Piranesi in there. And it was wonderful. These were so fucking good. Some of them moved me to tears, I swear to God. I was crying in there. It was embarrassing, but like, can you blame me? This was my favorite statue. It is so good. Look at her hands. That is a rock. That is insane. Look at that. Fuck. So good. This one too. So good. Yeah, credit where it's due. My god, look at that place. Yeah, same Medusa, same. Me, if I lived there. No, actually I would be very happy to live there. Look at those snakes. That is a rock. That is a rock. Can you believe that? That's insane. Why is nobody making stuff like this anymore? Please. That's not a rock, that's plaster, but still cool. Electric lesbians. No further comment. Look at this guy being all happy with his little boys. That's cute. More of me just being Piranesi. Except there's a lot of people around. Piranesi would probably just die seeing so many people in his halls. Yeah, gorgeous. That was Achilles, actually. Yours boy. Yeah, I would have happily died in there. It's a room full of heads. I thought that was very funny. Pig. Piglets. Such a beautiful place. This was a wall full of noses. The noses that had fallen off of other statues. I thought that was hilarious. This is the view from the roof of the Glyptothek, where you could see the roller coaster and also hear the people on the roller coaster screaming, which was very funny to me. Then I went to the Paludan book cafe, which was really cool. These books are not expensive, but they're also not English, and my Danish is not good. This place was so fucking wild. I literally got lost in here. It was so crazy. You're just gonna watch me walk around this place because I don't have a lot to say about it, but there was so much to see. So many books. Crazy. Tits. More books. So many books. And this place just went on and on forever. I can't even remember if it was a basement. It probably was, because there's no windows, but yeah, English dictionary. Thanks, we all need that. Pussy. Am I gonna be in trouble with YouTube for this? Anyway. More books. Look. Roleplay. Just so many books. I wonder how many books that place has. Leave me alone to more the deaths of fictional characters I've become overly attached to. This one's for Villanelle. There were no books on the bottom shelf. Yeah. Tits. That is fucking terrifying. I'm sorry for showing you that. More books. Would you believe it? Bet you didn't see that coming. And then I went to this place, it just happened to be in that street, but I realized when I was in there that it wasn't on my list because they mostly have French books. I don't read French, I don't speak French, I don't like French, so yeah, I left it pretty early on. Then I went to brøg, I don't know, I don't speak Danish again, but this was the cutest bookstore that I found. I think this was probably my favorite, but I might be biased because of a reason that you will see in 1 second, like right now. That's right, they were the only ones that had All Wives Under the Sea. But it was €25, so I did not buy it. Ha! Yeah. They had a really nice selection. I was wondering if anyone has read this, because it looks really cool. That was a great transition. We went from a spiral to another spiral. I went up into the Rundetårn. There was a pigeon there. There was also a toilet there, a very old one. I was trying really hard not to film other people, but they were in my way, okay? Luckily, it wasn't all spiral. There were stairs too. Thank fuck for that. Sneak peek of my brilliant outfit. Roof. More stairs. View. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous view of a gorgeous city. So pretty. Wonderful. Show-stopping spectacular. Wow. Yeah. This was the day that I fell in love with the city. It was the Glyptotech that did it, but like looking at it from this angle, damn, that's a pretty girl, isn't it? So good looking. Yeah. Then I went on a boat because I figured I should. I thought that the guide was absolutely hilarious, but nobody else was laughing at his jokes. So now you're going to have to listen to him and tell me that his jokes are funny. Because he was very funny, but I was the only one laughing. So that was a bit embarrassing.
Welcome on this grand tour of Copenhagen, the canals and the inner harbor. I came into work very early this morning. Why do I do that? That's because I get first pick of captains. So we have Captain Peter here sailing us today. My name is Kim and I will be your guide today.
This was so much prettier in real life than it looks on the pictures on the internet. Because like when you Google Copenhagen, this is all you see, but it looks so much better in real life.
Safety, very important. Let's talk about it. We will be sailing a tall building with a tall chimney. That is Copenhagen. It's one of the world's most modern incinerators. And it actually turned out to be so effective at burning garbage. So now we have to import garbage to Copenhagen to keep it running at full capacity. We don't produce enough ourselves. But the burning garbage, that is too boring for me to talk about. Let's talk about what we do in a flat country like Denmark with a building like this. We have used it to build a ski slope. So you can now go skiing here in Copenhagen and have a view of Copenhagen at the same time. So it has been decided that the sun rises here in Copenhagen at 8 o'clock. Problem solved. We will be right behind her in a moment. So smile, wave. You will be on a lot of Facebook and Instagram pages tonight. Den lille havfrue her, det var en gave fra Carlsberg-bryggeren Carl Jacobsen, og han gav os statuen tilbage i 1913.
Then I went to the botanical garden the next day, and this was such a gorgeous place. Very pretty garden. Lots of cute little staircases, tiny little mountains. So many plants, literally thousands of species of plants. Not that I know anything about plants, but like, I just like looking at them, so I had a blast. And there was also a gorgeous, gorgeous glass house in there, so pretty. I am such a slut for glass houses, I don't know why, but like, look at that. I was counting asters. I found only 3, but I'm sure there would have been more if I'd started paying attention earlier. Why does this feel like a video game? Honestly, a vibe. I just wish I could press a button so I could walk faster. I mean, technically I could do that, but... Look at that place, it's so pretty. The glass house. Actually, it was called the Palm House. Yeah. And I went inside because it was gorgeous. These were all just house plants, but like overgrown for hundreds of years, and now they're fucking trees. Some of them were weird looking. Some of them were really cool. It turns out I really like looking at plants. So... like, what even is that? Why is it so long? Insanity. Maneskin. I went up into the dome, even though I am terrified of heights. And it was very hot up there, it was see-through, and it was very, very narrow. I did make it down without having a panic attack though, so hats off to me. Gorgeous place. Then I went to the last bookstore that I forgot about the first time I was there. It's called Vangsgaards. I picked up one book here, which you will see in my haul later. It has some English books. Loves music, loves to dance, and loves to kill. Villanelle is shaking. We love to see it. This bookstore was also quite a ride. It looks pretty much like Hello Queen. It looks a lot like the Paludan bookstore, like downstairs. It wasn't a cafe though, this one. But yeah, I also got lost in this one a little bit. What a fun way of displaying books. There was an upstairs. I don't think I even went upstairs. I think I was done. I was honestly tired of going into bookstores and I mean, it was in Denmark, so obviously most books were in Danish, but the selection of English books were so small. And I know why that is. It's because, oh god, it's Ernest Hemingway. I hate Ernest Hemingway. Anyways, that is because when there's good English books in stores like this, in non-English countries, people buy them immediately, because this happens in my country too. So I know that that's why their English selection isn't that good, usually, but yeah, I just was a bit disappointed by that. But it was still nice to look at all these books. Oh, well, apparently that was it. I don't know if you could tell how gorgeous that city is from just those clips, but I fell in love with it. Anyways, I did promise a bit of a book haul, so let's do that. There we are. I didn't buy this in Copenhagen, but I brought it to Copenhagen because it has Copenhagen on the cover, and that's cool. This is Childhood, Youth and Dependency by Tove Ditlevsen. I had this on my shelf for about a year when I booked the trip, and I was like, I think I have a book that takes place in that city. And I did. It was this one, and I figured I should read it. And I'm so glad I did, because reading something in the place where it takes place, it's mind-blowing, honestly. I don't think I've ever had that before. Closest I ever got to that experience was when I was watching The L Word when I was in Los Angeles, and all of a sudden, one of the scenes was shot right across the street from where I was sitting. It was insane. Blew my mind. Anyway, that's what this entire reading experience was like. I sat down to read this anywhere I could. The chapters are very short, so it was very easy to just sit and read. And before I knew it, I'd finished it. This is a memoir of the author's childhood, youth, and dependency on drugs. My thoughts on this are kind of complicated. I love the first part. The childhood part was fantastic. The prose was amazing. During the second part, the youth, it kind of started to drop down for me. It just wasn't as captivating anymore. And by the third part was good, but it felt like a very weird place to end this. I'm sure there's probably more that they could have added to this trilogy and made it like a, what do you call it? A quartet? What do you call a series of 4 books? A series. I don't know if she has written more. This was the one they were selling everywhere there anyway. But yeah, I felt like that was a weird place to end it. And so if I hadn't read this in Copenhagen, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it that much. The fact that I did read it there elevated both the trip and the book for me. So I think I'm going to do that everywhere I go from now on. I'm just going to read a book that takes place in that city, and it's just going to be way more awesome than it would have been if I was reading something else. Onto the books that I got there. First of all, you just saw me enter that book market that was in a church. The first book I found there was this one. It's called The Stars Grow Pale, and it's written by Carl Bjørnhof, who is a Danish author, and I have never ever heard of this book. I spent the whole trip looking for books that were written by Danish authors, and it was kind of hard to come by ones that weren't super expensive. So I figured this was the way to go. And also I love the title. The Stars Grow Pale. That is so good. I think this is about a disabled boy, period. I don't know what else it's about beyond that. The next one I got, also at the book market, I got 3 there. The Temple of My Familiar by Alice Walker. I love the color purple. And I also have another book by Alice Walker. The Way Forward is with a Broken Heart. And then the next one I got was 84 Charing Cross Road, which I didn't know that this was an older book. I thought this was a fairly new book. I've heard people talking about this like it was a recent release, and apparently it's not. So I thought it was pretty cool to find like a really old version of that. Ooh, then the next one I got, the book itself isn't that interesting, but I went to Christiania, which I didn't film because I don't think that's allowed. I wasn't sure if that was the thing to do, but Christiania is an anarchist part of the city that just lives by its own rules. It's really cool, but I was also kind of scared when I was there because there's no laws, which is cool, but it's less cool when you realize that there's no laws for men either. And there was a lot of men there, so I didn't spend that much time there. Although I did go back later to just bike around it in the morning. That was better. That was probably the best way to do Christiania as a single solo traveling AFAB person. I felt very vulnerable there. But anyway, there was a free little library there. It wasn't little. However, when you think about it, every library in Christiania would be free. Everything is free there. There's no laws. Anyway, it didn't have that many English books. So this was the only one I found. It's Emma by Jane Austen, which I haven't read. I've heard a lot of things about the recent adaptation with Dakota Johnson. Wasn't interested in that at all, but I just thought it was a funny book to find in such a wild place. Anarchy. The next one I got was in the last bookstore. You probably already saw a sneak peek of it when I was showing you that. Oh my god, this title is long. It's a book by Emma Bombach, whom I have never heard of, but there were a lot of her books in that place. She's a comedy writer, apparently. She's American. I don't really... The title is If Life is a Bowl of Cherries, What Am I Doing in the Pits? None of that really sold me, but I read the first chapter, which was more of like a preface. It was very short, but it was about how everything especially in America, is so like perfectly organized, and yet there are so many more rats than humans in the world when they live so messily. I don't really remember, but when I was reading it, when I was standing in front of the bookstore, I was like, she's making some points and I'm interested to read the rest. And I actually mostly just bought this because I thought I would read it on the bus back home, but I didn't, because I was reading Philanethic instead. Let me know if you've ever heard of this woman, because I haven't. So yeah, this was all the books. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you liked this vlog. You won't get another one for a very long time because I've just started uni and I'm already stressing out about all the reading that we have to do. Yeah. I can't tell you when I will upload again, if ever. Hopefully so. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to download and read Stonebridge Blues and tell me about it. I've been saying this for months now, like 1 month at most. But anyway, no one has done it yet. So if you want to be the first, maybe someone has done it, but just hasn't told me about it. Maybe they thought it was shit. That's impossible. It's not shit. It's very good. Thank you for watching and see you next time.